Spiritual awakening, spiritual autonomy, codependency, even in a spiritual awakening, can we be spiritually codependent? Of course we can. Now, like anything, when we get into the freeze flight response, what do we want? We want people to be on our side. We look to what? We look to something that we belong to. We look to a common belief system. We look to a common purpose, which is why so many of us will be stuck at a point where we're looking for our tribes. You'll be looking at other beliefs that match up with yours, except what is actually happening again is that you've just moved from being a rat in the rat race of the others or a 3D world to a rat in transition between the 3D and 5D consciousness or 4D, or simply integrating your awakening. Now, when a spiritual awakening hits you, it is scary. When a spiritual awakening really rattles your life, it will put you in a stress response, which is why a lot of us will have our adrenals exhausted. A lot of us will be suffering from chronic stress. A lot of us will be suffering from chronic exhaustion, and exhaustion just doesn't seem to leave us. And that's there, folks. It's there as long as there's resistance. When we continue to seek comfort away from meeting our resistance, meeting our rigidity, meeting our overwhelm, meeting our fears, then all we're doing is prolonging the process, which then creates a stagnation. We prolong the process because we are scared. And when we are scared, what do? We really want our backs to be covered. And when that happens, yes, you may not buy into so-called 3D ways of being, or you may feel that, no, this isn't for us, and you might suddenly go into different modalities. You may have a community, you may have tools that you're using, you may resonate with certain teachers, with certain ways, and actually rather than it being that you are resonating with it and therefore it is something that's going to elevate you, it's something that's actually going to open the way so that you're able to take the next step into your spiritual awakening, what you'll find is that if anything, it is keeping you inside wherever you are right now. And that zone of comfort remains for a very, very long time, as long as the stagnation is there, the exhaustion is there, and we don't come to grips with our spiritual autonomy, which is what wants to spring into action as we walk into our authentic version of true, pure consciousness, true self. Folks, when we find content and we love it, or we engage with it, or sometimes you might just scroll past something, we don't want to engage with it because right now, we can't be bothered to engage with anything because our attention spans have taken a bit of a dive, all because we are now used to this instant sort of dopamine hit that is coming to us every second of the time. So we don't even get a chance to go into the gist of something. Now, for those of you who are well and truly into the thick of your spiritual awakening and really want to test the grit, really want to get out of your comfort zones, those of you who are doing this will embrace a path that is less trodden. So whilst spiritual awakening is sweeping across the world and so many people are talking about it and it's so open, this is not the first time or the first time in ages since our existence that there have been times when people have suddenly awoken. This is Yug Parivartan, when the Yuga changes, when ages changes, things like this often do happen. But folks, this is not something that is novel and something that's going to take us to somewhere that we've never been before. No, everything that we think the promised land or everything that you think is going to happen at the end of your spiritual awakening process is actually right now. You enter your new reality every day. You're always shifting your reality and you're living in it every day. Now, the question is, folks, ask yourselves, are you still in your comfort zone? Are you still simply now, in the name of spiritual awakening, escaping, neglecting your true self escaping any resistance, escaping coming head on to that change that must take place, that process that must unfold itself. Because folks, there is nothing that is happening outside of us. Everything that is happening is inside of us. And all the responsibility lay within us for us to shape whatever experience it is that we wish to ship from the field of consciousness. What do we want to engage with? So it's a bit like your social media. What do I want to engage with? What is it that it is giving to me right now? And that which you engage with is that which will become your resonance and which will become your dominant vibration, folks. So folks, leaving you with a lot of love as always. Ask yourself, please ask yourself all of the time, am I simply using my spiritual awakening not to face myself? Am I holding on to communities, to groups, to belief systems just because I am too scared to wait it out alone? What is it that keeps us in communities, hubs, belief system? It's our very, very primal instinct of survival. So when your spiritual awakening is kicking that survival instinct into fifth gear, ask yourself, rather than it kicking it into fifth gear, why doesn't the survival instinct simply take the back seat so that your authentic self can come to surface and disallow the false persona, disallow the facade that you've been putting up or putting down, putting around, projecting around so far? Come into your own, folks. Come into your own. Spiritual awakening is not up there. Yes, we have tools. Yes, we've got all of these wonderful meditations and yoga and dhyana, dharana, all of these things. We've got all of these things. We've got the occult, we've got yantra, mantra, tantra. We've got all of these things, yes. But where is it all going? Aren't we all going to the exact same place? But the baggage you carry, the baggage I carry, the baggage we all carry is unique to us. But ultimately, is there anything that is going to be added to your awakening right now other than your full presence and participation in it? Is there? Not really, right? Because once you fully engage with your awakening, all else will simply fall away. It will fall away. All your codependencies will fall away. Your need to ride on somebody's back will fall away. Your need for a point of reference will fall away. Your need to check on that little phone about signs and symptoms and what am I going through, the veracity of what you're going through. Is it real? Is it not? How do I know? Am I this? Am I not? And that will fall away because you know what's what. You don't need anyone to tell you. You don't need me to tell you anything either, right? You don't need anybody. You have you. You are the most important yet missing in action piece of your puzzle. So it's really down to you. Are you going to join forces with yourself and yourself alone to get you through to the next stage? Or are you going to stay where you are right now? Right? The decision is yours. As always, sending you lots of love. Thank you. Thank you.